Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, the purpose of the spiritual journey or meditation path is to undo the conditioning, isn't it? To undo the habitual pattern. As a human being, all humans are conditioned physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. Let's accept that there is conditioning. And because of the conditioning, there's a suffering in life. There's so much inner conflict and fear present. And because of this struggle, we seek to be free from the struggle. And that's where the spiritual journey or meditation comes in as a hope. And yes, the spiritual journey, meditation can be a path to undo the conditioning if we are aware what is true spirituality, what is true freedom. If the reference of the true spirituality is missing, then what happens is the path we choose to undo the conditioning, the path itself becomes another conditioning uh, along the way. And that is already present in the people who are seeking to be free. And to see this conditioning, one has to be aware. One has to reflect one's own life. And this is where we have to point the fingers at ourselves. Is that true? Is that true that my path that I chose to be free has become the limitation? And the truth is, it is true. Now notice, you cannot live without your spiritual ritual, the spiritual routine. And the reason you cannot let go your routine, spiritual routine, is because your routine has created some level of clarity in your life. There is some level of grounding. There's some level of connection you make from your ritual. You're physically settled to some extent. You're mentally settled to some extent. You're clear in the relative world to some extent. You can detach from the drama to some extent from with the help of your spiritual routine. But even there is so much support you get, notice that the fear, the inner conflict hasn't dissolved in you, isn't it? The seeking for more hasn't dissolved in you, isn't it? So that shows that we are using the spiritual journey to be free in the outer world, but not really to be free within from our fear, from our inner conflict, from our inner suffering. We are using the spiritual practice to rearrange our minds. And rearranging our minds is not freedom. Rearranging the mind is the ego rearranging to invite upgraded experience, to invite upgraded credential. That means the ego is seeking upgraded experience, new experience in oneself. The spiritual practice is about dissolving the mind. The mind itself is the conditioning. So the purpose of the spiritual journey is to undo the conditioning, and rearranging the mind is to stay in the conditioning. Yes, there's upgrade happening, upgraded mind is coming, and upgraded credential is coming. And staying in the upgraded conditioning, upgraded mind is just refining the conditioning but never overcoming the conditioning. And that's the failure to be free from the conditioning. So, again, the practice that we are aligned to overcome the conditioning has become the conditioning. And if we recognize that my practice has become the conditioning, then we can realign to the practice that can help us to undo all the way until nothing is left. And if that can happen, then there is a chance, there is an opportunity to see the plain sight truth. And the simple journey to undo all conditioning in oneself is the self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is the path to trace the conditioning back all the way until nothing is left. And check with yourself, are you doing the self-inquiry in your spiritual journey? Are you tracing your suffering back? Or are you denying the suffering, denying the pain in your spiritual journey? And I'll be blunt here. The way you're doing the way you're aligning with the spiritual journey is denying your issue by focusing on something else. And most of the meditation that is happening in the world is technical meditation. And all technical meditation is a layer that you're adding in you. And as I have already mentioned, that when you focus on the technique, yes, there's a sense of anchoring physically and mentally. But it doesn't dissolve the fear in life. It doesn't dissolve the root cause of the suffering. The worldly meditation, the technical meditation, gives a false illusion. It is working it helps you to stabilize you to some extent, and that kind of practice will help you to invite some level of stability and freedom in the outer world. That's it. But never take you all the way to dissolve the inner conflict, why the suffering is there in the first place. So, because of the lack of self-inquiry in the person, the suffering never ends, the fear never ends, the seeking never ends. Seeking for more and more and more never ends. And seeking is the suffering. Now, the spiritual journey is about undoing the conditioning. Now, you can you can you can look at yourself and what are the major conditioning in your life? What are the things you do every day? Definitely there is a healthy conditioning and there is unhealthy conditioning. Whether it's healthy or unhealthy, it is a conditioning. But let's look into the unhealthy conditioning. For example, using drugs is unhealthy conditioning. Okay? Or using alcohol regularly is unhealthy conditioning. Watching porn non-stop, unhealthy conditioning. So there are so many unhealthy conditioning. It becomes unhealthy when it is done regularly. Okay, so if you see you're doing something regularly and it is there and you cannot live without it, you must do it. And the spiritual journey is asking you to let go the conditioning to be free. And notice, if you are so conditioned in such a way, in an ingrained way that you cannot live without it, you become defensive. You become angry, isn't it? The anger, defensiveness resurface when you have to let go. And you become angry if you don't get it. If you don't get your preference, the anger resurface. And do you know why the anger resurface? The anger resurface because ultimately the fun is ending in your life. If you don't use the drugs, you feel like there's no fun in your life. If you don't use the alcohol, you're seeing that you're not getting the fun. Ultimately, all conditioning that is present in life is for the sake of fun. And when you're not getting it, then there is the idea of fear of losing the fun. And fear of losing the fun makes the person angry, mad, violent. So the negative quality comes in person. So if you see that these things are happening in your life, and if you want to be free from your conditioning, then you must straightforwardly ask yourself, why am I conditioned to whatever you conditioned? Just sit with the question. Let this question be the background. Why am I conditioned to whatever I'm conditioned. You know what you're conditioned, whatever you're conditioned to, so sit with it. When you sit with it, then the answer will resurface to validate your conditioning. And whatever answer is that, now you go deep and further by tracing your answer back. Why is that important? So you just, no matter what answer will resurface, just use why to that answer. Why is that important? And that why is that important will trace it back all the way to see the ingrained conditioning in you. And the ingrained conditioning must be dissolved, because the true freedom is about undoing all conditioning. So once you see the ingrained conditioning, which is the root cause of the suffering, the root has to be dismantled. So the root itself is there because of the fear. Fear is making you to hold on to that conditioning. Now, and also a spiritual journey is telling you to let go the root, and that's where the fear comes in. So if you're conditioned to porn, alcohol, drugs, the journey is asking you to let go, to see your fear, to see the fear of letting go. And when you see the fear of letting go, then now you can really deepen your spiritual journey by sitting with the fear and investigating the fear. Why am I afraid of letting go? And that why is gonna reveal the further uh, mind in you, which is the answer. So basically, why am I afraid of letting go? Now there's the answer. Whatever answer is that, why is that important? So you trace it back all the way until nothing is left. And basically, you start with your conditioning today and see how far can you go. And to go beyond the conditioning, not just looking into your negative habits, you also need to see the positive habit and dismantle the positive habit as well, positive conditioning as well. So you see by following the negative conditioning, you see the root cause of the suffering, and you go all the way. You can go all the way to nothing. Okay, but if you just dismantle the negative, but you avoid to look into the positive aspect of life, then you are maintaining the positivity in your life, and that's good. But that's not freedom. That's not inner freedom. The inner freedom, to be free within and outside, the positivity must be dismantled as well. The both duality, the negative and positive, the yes preference, no preference, the likes and dislikes, both gotta be dismantled. And if we do that, then that will prepare us to go beyond the duality, to see the singularity. And once you see the singularity, the conditioning doesn't affect us anymore. Because seeing the singularity means seeing who you are, the truth of who you are. When you see the truth of who you are, you don't become the conditioning. You let the conditioning be. You just anchor in who you are. And the spiritual journey is about anchoring in who you are and not affected by the mind, not affected by the conditioning. So that's the journey. There's the idea in the spiritual journey, to be free, one has to dissolve the conditioning, dissolve the mind. Dissolving the mind means, dismantling. Okay, the journey to figure out the truth is about peeling the layers to see what is there underneath the layers. And this journey can be seen as dissolving, but it's is it's dissolving to see the nature. But after seeing the truth, the conditioning, the mind is still there. Okay, you just don't associate it with that, or you don't listen to it because you see the truth. So whatever you have experienced in your life before the enlightenment, after enlightenment, those things are still there, but you just see they are not true to you anymore. And in that sense, you have dissolved the conditioning or undo the conditioning. So that's that. I hope this video makes sense to you. The main point to point out here is that the spiritual path that we have taken to be free has become the bondage, become another conditioning in oneself. This is the most important part to recognize. If you recognize, then you can really shift from the habits of spiritual routine, spiritual habitual routine to self-inquiry. So if you truly want to be free from your inner struggle and your fear, then you must self-examine everything. Self-examination is freedom. Okay, again, thanks for watching this video. I hope this video makes sense to you. Take care for now, and I'll see you next video. Bye.